Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Henry and Susan, and we are here live again on Tuesday. Today is what?
I don't remember. December.
December something. I think it is. Today's topic is cleaning solar panels in high winds. Is it smart to do? Is it something that we should be doing? Things to look out for. We want to make sure that people understand it could be dangerous while you're cleaning solar panels in high winds, whether it has to do with a ladder or anything else. So, we want to make sure that you guys understand that you can always reschedule um, when you're cleaning solar panels. As something that you can always do. And we had pretty high gust winds today. We had 5 jobs today to do, and we were even considering rescheduling. I think one of the jobs, right? Because
Most of the jobs, it wasn't really too bad. I
Yeah.
think we kind of missed the big part of it.
I think 8 o'clock in the morning, the winds were blowing pretty hard, about 40 miles an hour. But we actually weren't working in that area. We had to go somewhere else. So by the time that we got to that one, our first job, it was very calm, no winds, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So when we talk about this, we talk about high winds and cleaning solar panels. I wanted to bring up a few things with that. When you guys are out there and you're cleaning solar panels in high winds, a lot of times the solar panels will get really dirty even after you clean the solar panels because you got a lot of dust, you got a lot of sand, a lot of stuff going across wet panels, and that's not good because it will eventually get really dirty really quick. So you want to clean solar panels when there's very little winds whatsoever. And if you're kind of using like a rotating brush or something like that, you're just kind of pushing the dirt up and all over the place. And that's one thing that you have to be really careful of because you don't want to do that. Always try to reschedule. If you get winds over 20 miles an hour, um, that's kind of the borderline, and you want to be careful, especially with your ladders, especially in high winds with your ladders.
Mhm.
So,
Make sure you tie them down.
oh, how do we do that? How do we tie them
We
down?
strap them down
With what?
with the strap.
What strap?
The safety strap.
There is a safety strap that we use to tie down our ladders. And I will leave that in the description below. You can get it on Amazon. One of the best things out there on the market. It's a ladder safety strap that you use and you tie yourself down. It prevents the ladder from moving side to side or you don't fall to the side.
If you can strap it. Not a lot of houses have a way where you could strap it to something.
What do you mean?
Some houses, they don't have the extra little thing in the front.
The eave?
Yeah.
Yeah, the eave itself.
Some houses don't have that.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, there are some that most of them do have it. Most of them have an eave underneath, and there's a 2x4 and like every 2 that you can tie onto if you had to. Look around other places where you might be able to connect a ladder and strap down a ladder if you had to. You don't want to get up on a second-story home and not tie down the ladder, especially if the feet of the ladder get wet. They may slip from underneath you if you're going up or down that ladder. Anything could happen. Some of you guys out here use soap. So when you use soap and you get that on the concrete, it can become very slippery. and so you got to be careful of that. And you want to make sure that you are just careful in general, because uh, that's where most of the accidents are going to happen, is when you're out here and you are doing something where it's maybe high winds, maybe rain coming, or what have you like that. The rain is on its way, and it's probably going to be there for a lot of you people, where the rain has already started here in Southern California. Um, Rain hasn't hit yet, but it's been very, very nice.
Mhm.
Some fires going on right now, but other than that, um, it's been pretty decent weather. The weather has been in the good 70s up here, so we're we're out here still cleaning, which is a good thing. I mean, we have a lot of work still. And I wanted to bring that up to a lot of you guys, because there's a lot of you guys that are coming into this industry, and you are wondering, is this a seasonal thing? Is this a all year around thing? Um, and so that's kind of a tricky question to answer, because if you have established um, customers, and you're working all year around, that helps you out. But if you're brand new and you don't have customers, you kind of have to depend on new customers coming in. And those new customers coming in, you got to sell them on cleaning your solar panels during the wintertime and stuff. So, and, you want to make sure that you explain to customers that it's always best to get your solar panels clean all year around. Because if you can get your solar panels clean all year around, and the sun's out 365 days out of the year, it's only going to benefit you. It doesn't benefit you if the solar panels are dirty. Solar panels are dirty. The only person that it really benefits is the solar companies. Because if you're, say, for example, you're leasing um, these solar panels, then you are not making money if they're not producing. But the solar companies are making their money every single month, because they're charging you for the solar panels anyway. So a lot of them really don't care if they're producing or not, because they're getting their money anyway through the lease program, and so they're making money with that. And you are kind of like wondering, um, why is my electric bill so high? What changed between the time that I actually purchased the solar panels and now? Well, the answer is most likely 95% of the time is going to be because your solar panels are dirty. You know, so what kind of things are you seeing like now from customers, as far as you taking the phone calls?
Nothing the usual, same old that, they looking to get their panels cleaned and why they're not producing. Um, just pretty much the general things they ask or they call about.
They call.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're just calling just to find out.
Just to get pricing and how much we charge to clean them. And
yeah. You're going to get a lot of that, guys. You're going to get a lot of people calling you, because what they're doing is they're kind of just price checking everybody. And I don't know what it is about this industry. It's like a lot of people feel that they can bargain with you. Or
I had one customer call.
Today?
No.
Okay.
No, a few days ago, and asked how much we charge, and she said, "Oh, do you give a discount if I give cash?" I said, "No."
Yeah.
I don't know why they would assume that I would say yes to a question like that. Why you would get a discount if you give cash? Does any other place give you a discount if you give cash?
You don't walk into McDonald's and say, if I give you cash, can you give me a discount? Because you already know what the answer is going to be. And a lot of people, like I said, they're kind of out there, you know, treating this industry like it's negotiating industry, like if we're gardeners or something. I guess, and I don't want to put gardeners down, but it's like, oh, well, is that the best you can do or what have you? But what they don't realize is that in high winds or rain or any type of weather conditions, we're out there cleaning solar panels and we're risking our life every single time we get up on that roof. And you have to be really, really careful because anything can happen. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago that I was up on a roof on a garage, and literally I was walking on the garage that had the solar panels in there, and I stepped right through the roof. I mean, my foot went down into the roof itself, um, and it caught me off guard. But at the same time, I was like, luckily I had my harness on at that time too, because I had we it was a separate garage, and it was one of those garages that, like the RV that you can put an RV in, pretty big, and it was all dry rot right there in that little section. And the guy told me, he said, well, we actually have a roofer coming because we had a whole bunch of leaks in that. And if he would have told me that before, then maybe I kind of would have said, okay, well, maybe there's something going on here or what have you. It's just anything can happen, and you just never know. Tommy Bass says, any solar expo soon?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, the solar, there is one, I think either, I want to say in February. Um, there usually is some solar events going on throughout the year. I don't know the exact date, to be honest, but uh, there's a lot of solar conventions, solar expos. Just Google it, solar expos, and you'll find something out there. Um, Blazer hitting it hard. What's up, guys? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, Jim Fletcher. What's up there, Jim Fletcher? Hello. Jim Fletcher has been a sub of ours for a long time, and so he's on tonight. Welcome, Jim. But when we talk about these things, we talk about this industry, and like, for example, right now, a lot of you guys are not getting work, right? And there's some of you that are. There's some of you guys that are. But there are the weekend warriors out there, the young kids out there that got the trucks and decided that they were just going to do this as a weekend thing. Well, those guys aren't getting the work that they should be getting because they don't have those repeat customers, or they just kind of do it the one time, $50, $60, and they go out there and they clean them and then they're gone. It's gas money. But for people like us, who this is our livelihood, this is what we do all year around, we have to make sure that we keep our customers and our repeat customers, and so what do you think about that?
So what?
Our repeat customers and getting jobs all year around. What do you think about that? I mean,
well, I mean, there's some customers that are waiting it out. I can send out reminders, and it's just a matter of whether they want it to get it done or not. Some of them are not ready to, especially during the holidays, as it gets closer to Christmas. A lot of people, because they're already spending money, for the holidays, they kind of hold off and say, okay, I'll do it in January, or I'll do it
Right.
next year, because, I get it. It's the holidays, there's expenses that they have to.
But there are some that do get
There are some
cleanings. I mean, we had 5 cleanings today.
There are some that
so
do, there are some that do, for the most part, but there are others that wait it out, and
my point is,
they say,
my
oh,
point
I'll get
is-
it next year.
my point is, if you have a business like ours that's established
Mhm.
every year, going on 6 years already. So we have repeat customers. We have commercial accounts that we're cleaning right now. We have all that. But what about the new people? What about the brand new people that are deciding or even thinking about getting into this industry? What do you have to say to them as you taking the phone calls? What do you say to these new people that are coming in? Because you already know
Mhm.
all these new people that come in, what do they go for?
The commercial,
Why?
because it's big money. But what they don't get is that you don't get the money right away if they're a company that is paying you 30 days later or 2 months later. So you got to cough out the money, to pay your workers or anything that you have to rent, like equipment or anything, out of your own pocket, because you don't see a check from the client until, a month later. So
Yeah.
a lot of
Or 45 days
Or
or
45
60 days or 90 days later.
Yeah.
You know, and one of the things that I usually happens when somebody calls me and they ask for advice, the first thing I do is ask them what type of equipment that they have. If they have garbage equipment that they're using, um, then what's going to happen is it's really going to show on these commercial accounts, because a lot of them are trying to go after the big fish. A lot of them are trying to get lucky. A lot of them go and they finally get one or what have you, and then it becomes to the point where they're not ready. Um, and so even with us, we make sure that we purchase and buy the best equipment. I don't care what it is, what it costs. We're out there looking at it and we're buying it. Yeah, we may use something earlier when we first started, the cheaper stuff, but we got rid of that fairly quickly. And then all I'm trying to tell you is, you think about that when you get into this industry, when you get into this business, really, really think about your equipment. Think about your upfront capital. We get calls every single day with capitalist ventures and people calling us for loans. Hey, do you want to, we can give you money, blah, blah, blah. And they're giving you all these garbage short-term loans that will.
A lot of them are short term.
And when we talk about short-term, we're talking less
Or
than
like a year.
less than 12 months.
Yeah.
And maybe at 50%, 35% interest, 50% interest. We've seen some of them come across, and that's a good way to get your business into bankruptcy or really hurt your business, because once you get those type of loans, you might as well just say that's your business partner, because they're going to own you, and they're going to own you when it comes down to trying to collect and get that money back, because now your business is depending on just you going out there and hustling and hustling and hustling. Yeah, they'll front you the money and go out there and do that, but it's very difficult. There's other loans out there that you can get like a long-term loan, a SBA loan, a Small Business Association. You can get a 25-year, 30-year loan with that. You have to be in business for 2 years, but those are just some of the things that I would look at as an SBA loan. and try to get an SBA loan to where you pay it off a lot longer than the short-term loans, because as soon as you go out there and you start your business, you're spending money. I mean, let's just be realistic. We have over 100 people that we're competing with. So we have a big marketing budget, and that big marketing budget can be anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a month on us just marketing our business. And there's guys out here that may have $200, $300 that they're doing for like Yelp or these small little companies that are gonna go out there and take your money. So you got to be really careful about that, and always know, before you start this business, know who your competition is. Know exactly who's in your backyard, because if you have a lot of people in your backyard, expect them to beat your prices. We get guys that call us all the time acting like customers that will call and they will ask for what we charge per panel. And one of our things is we don't really go and give prices out unless we have an address. We ask certain questions. So we do know when somebody is out here baiting us. And a lot of times we'll sit there and we'll say, okay, well, we can head down over there and give you a price. We can give you a quote. Oh, no, that's okay. It's for my sister's house, or it's for my, mom's house. She's not home right now. And just some of the things like that, we already know, because we've been doing this for so long. And Susan is actually getting really good at it to where she knows, whether they're trying to find out what we charge per panel, our flat rate price, or what have you.
I've had customers that said, "Oh, well, how much in this area should I be looking out for? I'm just looking around. I'm a new customer." I said, "Well, each area could be different. Not everybody charges the same thing." "Oh, I just kind of want a rough estimate." I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't tell you." So I really stick to my grounds and not tell them anything, because I know what they're trying to do, and
Yeah.
I'm just very blunt, very like.
And we do ask customers. We ask customers all the time, "Did you get quotes?" "Yes, I did. I got it from another company." I go, "Which company were they?" And they usually tell us. They'll tell us what company that gave them that quote, and they say, "Well, they gave me a price of $70."
And we're like, "Okay, well, you can go with them because we can't go that low."
Right. And if it's below our threshold, we are not going to take their money. And you got to remember, you can always say no and let the other person do it for that
It
that
doesn't
price.
make you look bad as a
Not at all.
company. You got to look out for yourself and what you're worth. If you think you're worth $70, then by all means do it. If you really, really, really need the money. But if you want to, if you want to have higher standards of yourself as a company and as a person, you don't want to lower yourself that low. You want to present yourself that you're worth more than that, worth more. Your time, your energy, getting up on the roof, you really want to look at all that as a person going up there and getting the work done.
Well, example, like today, we had 50 panels on one house. And so when we have so many panels, we already know what equipment we're using. And in 50 panels, I think we literally got that done in less than 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Less than 20 minutes, and we went over them several times.
Yeah.
When it comes down to that. So for us, it's the equipment thing, right? If we have the right equipment, we can go out there and knock out so many panels. We knocked out 285 panels in an hour and a half on a commercial building the other day. 285 panels in an hour and a half, literally. And we went over them several times. So, it just depends on your on your equipment, on what you have, and what you're using. So you have to, again, like Susan said, know what you're worth when it comes down to it. Know what you're going to charge, and go from there. Um, Jim says, need to drop off. Have a good night. Have a good night there, Jim. Thank you for chiming in. Blaze hitting it hard. I'm a guy from Moreno Valley doing my homework. Oh, we were just there, weren't we?
No, we're in Marietta.
Oh, Marietta. We were in Marietta this morning. Yeah, Moreno Valley. Okay, I know where that is.
But like you said, I could start in March. Currently, has just been doing
Family, friends.
getting the process done.
That's awesome. I mean, and that's how you should start. You should start by just kind of doing friends, getting it down, figuring out how long it's going to take you to clean a house, what you're going to charge, and even ask them, even ask your family and your friends, what would you pay to clean solar panels, to have your solar panels clean? What would you pay? And kind of get an idea from them. And there's tons of guys out here in Moreno Valley and close to you that you have lots of competition. So it just depends on you, on what do you want to beat the competition? Yeah, you can go out there and lower your price and try to get the work. And this is what a lot of guys do, is they lower it so low that they don't make any money. I know a crew out there that's got 15 guys out there in that area, and they lowball all the time because they want to get the work, but it comes down to it when it starts to rain, and now they're wondering, how do I keep 15 guys on payroll when it's raining? And it's your marketing, you're paying these guys, you're spreading it out. I mean, right now, and we already know this, we let our guys go. We let them go in August. At the end of August, our guys are gone. And then I'm doing it and Susan's doing it ourselves, because all that money is coming back to us. It's not coming back to our workers, our workman's comp,
We don't have a big overhead.
We don't have a big overhead at all. And we learn from that. And you could make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month in June and July. Those are reach numbers. If you are established and you are well known in the industry. So like I tell everybody, is we don't go after commercial. Commercial comes after us. They call us and we put out and we give out a bid. And most of the time we get it because we bid accordingly. So, and a lot of that has to do with marketing. If you market yourself out there, you get yourself out there and you market, you spend some money on marketing, then what's going to happen is people are going to find you. Are they going to go for you with you? We don't know that. We get so many people that call us that and sometimes Susan will say, this day available, and they sit there and go, no, I need it on this day or this day. And you know what we tell them? Sorry, cool, we can take you on this day, but that's it. And they go, oh no, that's okay. Then they go somewhere else. We don't mind that because we already know what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody who's going to do it on their terms, on whatever they want, and they're just going to go with that. And if you're not, ready to, just give yourself up to a customer on whatever they want, it's like, okay, look, we go out there and we know what we're doing and we get this done, and we tell them, look, we're going to go over your panels many, many times, not just once, many times with our equipment. And then when they see our equipment, they're like, wow, this is pretty nice. Look at the guy today, as a matter of fact, and we were talking to him today, and he was amazed by us taking up the C1000 and getting done so quickly, and watched us the whole time in the backyard. Out there watching us.
Oh, I didn't see
You were
it.
taking phone calls. You were actually on the phone with a customer, and so Tommy Bass, what's up there, Tommy Bass? Recommended DI tanks. You know, there's guys. We have deionized tanks that we use, a 1.3 cubic meter. We use those for commercial and residential. There's guys out here that have the 3-stage systems, the 4-stage systems. They're using that to clean windows. So they use that for solar panel cleaning, but they're using it. They're not high pressure. Those are just low pressure, where they just turn on the water and maybe use a pump to pump that through the RO membranes, and then it goes up into the second story, and they're out there, doing this all day long and scrubbing. Those guys obviously are going to take a lot longer than what I would with say 20 minutes for 50 panels. It may take them closer to 45 minutes to an hour. Who knows?
Sorry, guys, I have a kitty in between us that's enjoying that.
Yeah, so if you hear her purring, then you'll know what it is. Scherzer 25, what's up there, Scherzer? Solar Cleaning Solutions checking in from Arizona, Lake Havasu, Bullhead City, Laughlin, Nevada, Kingsman, Arizona. Love your podcast, Henry and Susan. I reached out to you all. About my new Fluke.
I think he was the one that called.
Oh, the Fluke meter.
About presenting that to customers, like as a.
Oh yeah, we had a discussion about that the other
Yeah.
day. Yeah,
Like a selling point. I don't know if you thought that was a good idea.
no. Do not use the Fluke meter as a selling point. You're using that for your own personal reference itself. The Fluke meter. There's many Fluke meters that you can use. Some of them that got the prongs on them where you can check AC/DC, and then there's some that is the other one that I think I had on my podcast a long couple years ago and what have you, and people challenged me on that, and so I kind of just said, you know what, I'm not even gonna entertain these guys, and I didn't. So I didn't use it, but that's for your own personal reference, so you can kind of see if it is going to benefit you as far as your production. That takes it from the sun itself, so you'll be able to see your production coming from the sun. Scherzer says, I have the Fluke. That's awesome. Great.
He says we would like to take you and Susan out to dinner at College Street Brews in Lake Havasu when you guys are back in the area.
Whoa, I'm gonna be. Yeah, we have the same one, Scherzer.
How far is that from Utah?
Utah?
Mm-hmm.
A couple hours, 3 hours maybe from Utah.
My nephew is moving to Utah, and that would be a good spot to stop when we go visit my nephew.
Oh, hell no. I'm going way before then. When you go to Lake Havasu,
that too.
Lake Havasu, he's talking about College Street Brewery, with the blue van.
Mm-hmm.
And have you been there?
I think he's been there.
You?
Oh, me?
Yes.
No, I've never been to Havasu.
Oh my God! I'm not talking about Havasu.
No,
I'm talking about College Street Brewery, which has the blueberry ale beer, they put blueberries in it.
I've been to Arizona, but
I'm going to take you there.
I've never been to Lake Havasu area.
Yeah, I'm going to take you there next Christmas.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to go there during Christmas. Another time. Not Christmas time.
I cannot.
I cannot. I can think of other places to go during Christmas time.
There you go. You know what? I'm going by myself, Scherzer. Don't worry about it. Me and you, we're gonna have some beers. We're gonna have the pretzels and
He's
hamburgers.
coming to join me at Christmas time. He
and-
is not leaving
and
me
salad.
alone on Christmas time. That's a no.
So, Blaze hitting it hard says, I had spoken to you a while back on the phone and appreciate that you took time to talk to me. Thank you for all your content. It helps as a beginner. Awesome. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to educate people, make sure that they do understand. I actually have a course that I'm thinking about putting together for the new people. I've been thinking about this for a long, long time, and it's a video course that I want to put out there as we are out there doing the work and showing you. And these are just some of the secrets and stuff that you guys need to know, especially for like commercial or how to really put yourself out there when nobody else is doing or what they don't know. And that I don't put on YouTube. I look, guys, I don't give everybody all my secrets. I really don't. There's a lot that you can learn from us, but at the same time, there's a lot that I do on my individual training, and what have you. Tommy Bass says top 3 safety tips. Top 3 safety tips. What are you talking about? Are you talking about when you're on the roof? Are you talking about in general, just all around? Because I have a lot. I mean, there's so much that we can talk about when it comes to safety. There's guys out here that give out safety courses that will take your money. Oh, that's for sure. They'll go out there and they will give you a course.
Rule number 1, don't fall off the roof.
Give you a nice certificate. And you could take that certificate to anybody who wants your service, and they probably wouldn't know what that is or care. So I'm just saying. But Tommy Bass, top 3 safety tips. Susan's number 1 rule is
don't fall off the roof.
Don't fall off the roof. How about that? Look, this is why we have.
Watch your surroundings.
And that's very, very important.
Watch your surroundings.
Is always know where you're at on the roof at all times. Even when she gets close to the edge, I remind her and I will yell at her, get away from the edge of the roof or get away from the edge of the building, just because we don't want anything to happen. Tommy Bass says you pick. Oh boy.
Strap your ladder. Strap the ladder.
With what?
With the safety strap.
So if you haven't seen our videos, Tommy Bass, and I think you're new here, I have videos on we strap our extended ladder on the very top on the eave. We strap that down with a ladder safety device that we use, and that's a fireable offense to me. If my guys don't use that, they're fired. There's no excuse.
Don't put the ladder up so high above the how do you say
the roof line.
The roof line, yeah.
Well, there is OSHA certifications, right, for ladder safety. I've been doing ladder safety for a long time, 28 years. And so I've handled 28-foot ladders, 32-foot ladders. I've handled all of them. So when I go out there and I use a ladder, a 32-footer, what I would do is I will strap it up on top to make sure that it's strapped up on top. And I only go 2 rungs above the roof line, 2. And what I do is I step directly over on both. So I go over, so I'm on the center of that particular ladder at all times. There's guys that go 4 above and they have to go to the side. What happens there is that ladder could slide to the left or could slide to the right or anything can happen. So you don't want to have the ladder too high. And at the same time, ladder safety device.
If you have a 2-story house, there's some houses where you can actually walk up to the second level. So you don't need 2 ladders, you just need the one. A 2nd-story house, there's times when we use 1 ladder because since there's 2 of us,
Well, wait a minute.
we take up.
Blaze Hitting It Hard says, can you
Yeah.
speak on the best method to get on the 2nd story? No. I know you were going with there. On the 2nd story house, like how many ladders and where to position them? Go ahead. You're on.
So before I was interrupted.
Well, no. I just wanted to read his comment.
Yeah, well, I was answering that.
Instead of me asking
I
after.
was answering it.
Okay.
But you interrupted.
Well, I'm letting everybody know his question was.
I was going to read the question after I was done.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyways, sometimes there's houses that have a way to get up to the 2nd level without having to use a 2nd ladder because you can walk up to the 2nd story. There's some houses where there's it's small enough from the 2nd level to the 1st level where you can actually climb up. There's houses, if they are 2-story, you need 2 ladders. There's times where we just use 1 ladder. Since there's 2 of us, we have the 1 ladder and we bring up the ladder that we're using to the 2nd level. That way we're not using 2 separate ladders. Sometimes we do have 2 ladders, especially when we're doing bird proofing, we do have 2 ladders. And the placement of that, Henry can tell you more about where to place the ladders on 2-level houses. You know.
All right. So if you have a 2-story house, like Susan was saying, we use an 8-foot ladder and we put it on the 1st level. And then I will raise that ladder up from the bottom. And then I will put that on the 2nd level and I would tie off right there if I'm going to go to the 2nd level. And basically just use the 1 ladder because I like it. It's light. It's I can bring it up.
One less.
I could break it down really fast. I mean, I can make that 8-foot ladder to a 4-foot ladder. If I have a shorter junction, do I need to get to on the 2nd story? But I always tie off. I always tie down just to make sure that it's safe.
But if there's a house where there's not enough roof to put a ladder to get to the 2nd level, you might have to use a taller ladder, right? You know, there's some houses where there's not enough space to put a 2nd ladder on the top because it's so small from the roof that you can't put a 2nd ladder. So there's times where we've had to use just a one tall ladder to get to the 2nd level.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading Tommy Bass said, "Get 'em, Susan," something like that.
But it's
just very distracting when I read crap like that.
It's not crap.
Get 'em, Susan. Are you kidding me right now? Tommy Bass.
We've come across houses where there's no roof on the 1st level. There's like a balcony.
Yeah.
But there's nowhere to put a ladder in the back or the front. So there's times where he's had to use a taller ladder to get to the 2nd level.
Scherzer says,
how tall of a ladder have you used?
32 footer.
32 footer.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm carrying that with 1 hand on my shoulder, put it up, extend it out, and get up there.
No, if there's no roof on the 1st level to put one, so you use
either a 28 footer is reasonable, or a 32 footer you can use.
And the stabilizers.
That's what I was going to bring up next because you beat me to it.
Because I know.
Whenever you use a 28-foot ladder or a 32-foot ladder, try to use a stabilizer with that. Those are the bars that go up on top. And you put them on top of the roof itself, so your ladder doesn't go anywhere. That's another safety device that you can use there, that you can use for the ladders themselves. But
telescopic. What is your opinion on the telescopic ladder?
Scherzer 25 says, "What's your opinion on the telescopic ladders?" They're good.
If they get wet, we've had issues with our ladders. Like if it gets wet,
Well, I was going to explain that till I was brutally interrupted.
it takes time to get to the point.
I'm an old guy. Yes, I take lots of time. Telescopic ladders I would use for 12 feet or less. The weight on that, if you're a big guy, and
Flimsy, huh?
if you're a big guy, you'll see the telescopic ladder start to bow, and that's where I kind of get concerned. Also, what Susan was saying was that on these telescopic ladders, they gotta be dry. They have to stay dry. If they're not dry, they will fill up with water, and it's hard to get these things down, and they'll never work the same. So if you're cleaning panels on top, make sure that if you're using a telescopic ladder, it's 12 feet or less. Use that for that. Do not use a telescopic ladder on the second story at all. Do not use that. The feet are too narrow. They're just straight. As a, say, for example, a little giant or something like that, to where the feet are out like this and you got more room.
It's kind of like a rectangular platform on the bottom of the ladder. Like there's two rectangular things on the bottom of the ladder where it kind of sits flat.
The feet?
Yeah, the feet. Yeah, the feet. Rectangular feet.
The feet.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also you have the center, which has the straight up and down, which is another pair of feet that will either go right in the grooves itself that you can use for that. So I like the little giants. I like those. That's one of my favorite that I use, is the little giants. I will leave that in the description below since we're talking about ladders. I will leave that because the feet, the footing on that is very, very good. And they don't slip as much as some of these other ladders.
Like the telescopic ladder, it's circular on the bottom, so there's nothing really to grip on the row.
Well, the one that we bought was circular, and then the one that we bought, the bottom feet wore out, and so they're gone.
The
rubber on the piece,
yeah.
And that's probably your most important piece, is the rubber, the feet, to hold that ladder. So I mistakenly left my telescopic ladder at a customer's house. I mistakenly did that.
No, he forgot about it.
On purpose.
He was the one that touched the ladder, put up the ladder, and should have remembered to bring the ladder.
You're not listening to me. I left it on purpose.
He forgot it. He forgot.
The feet were gone on it, and it was unsafe.
People can have it. We don't need it.
And we gave it to a customer. we forgot our ladder. That's what we did.
They can have it.
The ladder was only like about $125 or something like that on Amazon. You can find telescopic ladders on Amazon. Do not use telescopic ladders on the second story. Please do not. Get yourself a very sturdy, good ladder. That's another safety tip that I can tell you guys, is do not go cheap on your ladders, your safety equipment, your ladder, your gutter guard that you use. If you don't, I'm going to leave all this in the description. We use a gutter guard. As a matter of fact, one of our customers today had asked us about the gutter guard. He goes, "Where's the gutter guard?" And I said, "We can't put the gutter guard on because you put your Christmas lights up." So we couldn't go out there and put the gutter guard across, because he had a whole bunch of Christmas lights that he just put up. So, and that's another thing too I want to talk about.
And sometimes customers have, we can't use the gutter guard if they have their gutters covered with the, what do you call it, like a netting, or like so that leaves and stuff don't get clogged don't clog up the gutters. They have that.
The rain shield?
Yeah.
The rain guard?
Yeah, the rain guard.
Yeah, the rain guard, the mesh, the
Yeah.
wire mesh
Mhm.
that goes over the
Mhm.
gutter. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you can't put that on there itself. You want to take the next question?
What size do you recommend for Little Giant ladder to use on second floor?
Blaze hitting it hard, hitting it too hard says, you got to let people know who's asking the question.
Okay.
What
Well,
size?
I already
Go
read
ahead.
the question. Why are you reading it again? I already read it.
So,
Answer the question.
what size you
I
recommend?
already told you.
Little Giant, I would say the 12-footer. 12-footer is kind of perfect. I use the 12-footer because it's light. There's one that I actually use that has the handles, and those, instead of pulling the handle out, it's you just press it in. God, I wish I had a picture of that one. I'll leave it in the description. But that is my best ladder out there, just because I break that thing down so fast, and it just gives me no trouble at all. It's quick. I can break it down, put it in, and I'm out. The other ones, you gotta pull the things apart,
The little knobs.
the
on
knobs
side.
to make it go up or down. These are like the quick. What am I trying to say?
They kind of snap. They
snap right in.
snap.
Right into
on.
place.
Mhm.
I'll leave it in the description because I got to find it, and then I'll put my link on there, guys, for you for that. Great questions, by the way. Other safety advice you can
Be careful when you're walking on a house that has a lot of moss. On the
Oh,
roof,
good point.
because it can get very, very slippery.
Very, very slippery. I ran into that today on one of the houses today where they had a lot of moss.
And if they get wet, it gets very slippery.
Yeah, if you don't have really good shoes, you're going to go down and you're going to slide, and you can be really, really careful. I suggest that you wear some gloves, because if you need to put your hand down and try to grab onto something, you're protected there. I always wear my gloves when I'm cleaning.
And walk very slowly.
If you're uncomfortable on the house, especially on Spanish tile, it doesn't hurt to crouch down and just
crawl.
stay close to the ground. That's where most people slip, is when they're standing straight up, and then all of a sudden their feet go from underneath them, and then they're going. So yeah, be really careful.
Scherzer says, do you want to talk about how to walk on Spanish tile? I'm seeing a lot of cracked tiles from their solar panel installers. A lot of people, they think they can walk on top of the hump of the Spanish tile. And what we do, we walk in the groove of the Spanish tile. The valley is what you call it. You call it a valley?
Yeah. So I'm just drawing it right here. This is the top. So if you're looking at this picture right here, you actually want to step right in here. You never want to step on the top, because that, especially when it's hot, will split right in half. And that's where a lot of them will break. If you have...
there's some roofs out there that they're Spanish tile, but what do you call them? Clay tile? Remember the ones that are stacked up?
The ceramic?
Is it ceramic?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ceramic one. There's not really a way to really avoid, because they're very fragile, right? That type of roof.
Yeah, you just got to be really, really careful. I mean, there's a lot of tiles out there that some are very, very expensive. I think we did a $3 million home that had ceramic tiles on it.
That one was, yeah.
Wow.
One was tough.
I didn't break any.
No.
But you can really sit there and just, when you're walking, you hear it go, and just like, the guy told us this guy was a millionaire, and he turned around and said, I had the whole roof redone, and then we went over there, and there was like 100 of those still up on the roof, and they didn't even finish his stuff. I mean, they just left it there.
But his whole roof was.
But his
like
whole
that.
roof was like that, and sometimes we have to charge
a lot more
money just to walk on certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll tell them, you know, we're gonna work on this. We're gonna walk on these, but if we break them,
Mm-hmm.
we'll let you know. And a lot of times, I have insurance. We have insurance. We're fully covered. Got $3 million policy. So if we break anything, fall through the roof, we're covered. A lot of times, these guys out here, they usually have like extra tiles.
Mm-hmm.
And if they break one, you let them know. Just tell the customer. And if they have extra, doesn't hurt for you to take that one, take the old one out, put the new one in, slide it in, and put it in there and replace it. Doesn't hurt at all. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. I mean, we appreciate it when you do smash that like button. Blazer hitting it hard says how to walk on different types of on different roof types. I mean, that could be a whole.
The Spanish tiles is probably
worse.
The difficult ones, but all the other ones are pretty easy to walk on. The composite roof, they're real easy. The one you probably want to be a little more concerned about is the Spanish tile.
The Spanish tile, especially the older ones, mm-hmm. and if they're doubled up, mm-hmm. do it. Yeah, a lot of them. Some of them you'll see double.
Some of them triple them.
They double them and they put concrete in between them and they put the other one right up on top. Yeah, they're pretty sturdy, but at the same time, those are very, very slippery, especially when they get wet. And when you're on a roof, when it's wet, you have to be really, really careful. Mm-hmm. I like the shingles all day long when it's wet. I will walk on a roof that has shingles and use and clean, and I love that. Spanish tile is a different story. Mm-hmm. It's you could be and if it's got moss on it, you got to be really, really careful because you could slip and slide and hurt yourself and, go down. So, yeah, just got to be really, really careful when it comes to.
And there's nothing wrong with telling a customer, no, I'm sorry, it's too difficult for me. I can't. There's nothing wrong with that.
We have turned people down for roofs that have been really too steep. We had one, almost a month ago, I believe. Remember that guy? That had that really steep roof that just went straight up like this.
Yeah, there was no way to do it from the roof at all.
We had to do it from the ground because we were like...
He's like, are you sure we can't do it? No, we cannot.
He asked us to go up on top, and the peak was like this. That's what the peak, if you were just imagine. Yeah. And...
We're like, no, I'm sorry, but
there's no room on top. You can't put 1 foot on one side, 1 foot on the other without falling. And once you start to go on a steep one like that, you kiss your butt goodbye if you don't have a safety harness on. And that one, I definitely would have had a safety harness on and had 2 big guys holding that thing while I was.
But he was able to do it from the bottom.
But yes, we're able to do it from the bottom itself. And get that taken care of, and so that worked out really, really well. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Smash that like button. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming on. It is going on an hour already, and we had a long day, so we got a long day tomorrow, and for the whole week actually.
We're gonna rest up and eat dinner.
We're gonna have some dinner, and thank you guys for coming on. We appreciate each and every one of you, especially new subscribers out there. Do you want to say anything before we go?
be safe out there, especially if you're in a windy area. You know, drive safe. Be careful of the trucks because some of them can topple over during these high winds. So be careful.
Yeah.
Especially during this time of year where there's a lot of people out on the road doing their shopping and getting ready for the holidays. So be extra careful, you know, if you're driving on the freeway, on the streets, you know, just be careful because there's a lot of hit and runs out there lately. And so just be cautious and be careful.
Yeah. Sherja says, thank you for the good content. We appreciate it. Oh, by the way, how far is Lake Havasu from here? About 3 hours, maybe?
No, I think it's more.
4 hours?
I think no, I think it's more. I think it's more than 4 because
No.
from here to Vegas is 4.
Okay,
3.5,
well,
4.
it's an hour from Vegas.
Okay, so 5 hours maybe.
No. It's less than that. It's before Vegas if you
Is
were
it
to go.
before?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been there, so.
Yeah, and then an hour, maybe an hour, hour and a half from Lake Havasu to Vegas. So
Can we fly?
you could fly. You could fly right into Vegas while I go to Lake Havasu and have a beer with my buddy Scherzer. 25 there.
No, we go visit my nephew.
You go visit your nephew?
We go visit my nephew.
All right, guys. With that being said, thank you guys for watching our video. Sergio said it's about 3.5 hours. If I sneak out early in the morning, like about 4 o'clock, I should be there by 7:30.
Oh no, he'll
and be back here before she knows that I'm gone.
Oh no, I'm a light sleeper, so I'll know.
It says it takes me 3.5 hours to get from Lake Havasu to Huntington Beach.
Oh, really?
I tell you what, you let me know when you're coming down. I want 2 cases of the blueberry ale. You bring that to me, I will give you a nice check or cash. So I put it in my refrigerator and I will be good.
We can too.
Oh yeah, I'll sell you the money. Hell, I could do that too. Anyways, hit me up privately. info@socalsolarpanelwashing.com. Susan will put that in. And then if you guys have any questions, info@socalsolarpanelwashing.com. Hit us up and we'll try to help you out the best we can. Do you know how to spell?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. With that being said, she's going to put that in there real quick in our chat. There you go. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around. We really appreciate it. We will probably see you guys before Christmas itself. And
we won't be on Christmas Eve because Christmas is on a Wednesday, so we are not going to be on Christmas Eve.
We're never on Christmas. We're never on Wednesdays, babe. We're on
Christmas Eve
Tuesdays.
is on Tuesday. So we will not be on Christmas Eve.
Well, of course. I mean, that's obvious. So we might be gone for a couple of weeks anyway. I think Paris was a place that we were discussing.
Yes, I know somebody that's in Paris right now. And he went to Disney out there.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video. Do you want to say anything before we go?
Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night. Catch you guys on the next one. See you guys. Peace.
Yeah, I wish Chris